Hello, you guys. This is Rudy again. I'm here in San Pedro, and there's some important settings I want to talk to you about. What does it mean that the literacy rate in Costa Rica is 95%, and that the standard of living is fairly good? That middle class has been the wider belt in the nation for years and years. When the country decided to emphasize education in the schools and to open up the high school level in the main cities of Costa Rica, and that was back in the 30s, 1930s. You might say, so what? What? Well, in the first place, Costa Ricans are ranked among number one friendliest people of the world. That doesn't mean that you're gonna take advantage of them or that they will give you some, money in return, or they're clumsy. No. How did I find Costa Ricans? In the first place, they don't talk to you openly and straightforward, like even in the US people are used to. Okay? I used to live there, and there are a bunch of them. Costa Ricans have a sweet nature. Why? There's some elements that make them different. When I was in the States, I've been many times, I could meet many people from other countries. And for the most part, even Mexicans, except they were from the main cities, the people were really tough, you know. I remember one time when we were in Dallas, and there was a bunch of Mexicans, and I asked something to the wife of one of my friends. He was Mexican, and he came back and said, "Hey, you're talking to my wife." Okay, why are you talking to my wife? One of the main problems the Americans do have with Latin Americans is that, for the most part, they, sorry to say, but they don't have good manners. Cubans have the worstest manners ever. Ever. They're coming from a system where everything belongs to the government, so they hardly say goodbye. They hardly say thank you. And there was a guy here in Costa Rica, he hired out 2 Cubans, and then he fired them. They couldn't accept that fact. They thought it was an offense. They came back and stabbed him on his stomach, and he died. Cubans are really loud speakers, and they are the ones that hold the worstest manners ever. Yeah, they're coming from a communist country. Some other people from other countries in Latin America, you see in them the lack of good education, of good primary schools and high school level. In Costa Rica, you have high schools even in the smallest town. And the people, in a way, are very satisfied with the government, with the country in general, because there is no army and the government provides a lot of benefits, mostly for young people in primary, elementary school, and high school level, and has provided many other benefits that doesn't mean the country is totally socialist. Higher education is a plus too. You can afford to. There are some loans from local government entities. People are, for the most part, sweet-natured because there's been no wars in Costa Rica, no guerrilla fighting, no like in Bogota, Colombia, 4 years ago, when the people came out into the streets and asked Petro to resign because of his populist government that wants to get some benefits, taxing the middle class and the older businesses. So that means that the communist rural countries do always have to tax the upper classes in order to give the other lower classes benefits. In Costa Rica, people obey the law for the most part. We see some Central Americans coming down, requesting, demanding. They say, "You guys are rich. You guys, we want to take out from you." I met a Venezuelan the other day, and all he wanted to do was get money from Costa Ricans. So I got my car already in 4 years, and I'm selling to and fro, and I'm getting profit. That's what I want out of the country. I'm sorry to talk about Venezuelans, but I used to live in Venezuela. People there, I talk to them at times and tell, hey, in Costa Rica, you don't talk to Costa Ricans straightforward, okay? You are kind to them because they won't allow you to be otherwise, okay? So if you really want to handle the Costa Ricans, you have to get good manners, okay? Good manners in talking to them. No, they will not yell back or whatever. In most countries in Latin America, they have been through violent riots. Even Chile. Nowadays, remember some 4 years ago, even the Santiago Metro or subway was burned out, and people made a lot of mess in the city. And of course, even Chile, which says it's one of the nicest countries in Latin America, like Costa Rica, they have running water, they have electricity everywhere, they don't have higher education, and they don't have social medicine benefits like Costa Rica does. Don't ask me whether the country should promote higher education at a people's cost. That is also applied in Germany and the Scandinavian countries. But Chile doesn't have that system, okay? You had to pay for your higher education if you got money, because they're most of a kind of a liberal country. I mean, in a way, very capitalist country. What is the consequences of this Costa Rican model? The people are nice. The people have good satisfaction with the government. Many companies invest in the country because the people are educated. Okay, they're easy to handle. Okay, I don't mean that they're angels, but Costa Ricans are different. I seen that over and over, and they smile to you and they want to help you out because they have families and they're family oriented, and they have good manners because they do have good, nice settings in their homes. The country is also small. What really happens? I saw an article about an American woman that the money is retained in a Costa Rican bank, and she wants to make a big hustle out of it. I answered back to her YouTube channel that she invested her money in a private bank, who to has some provisions already for people who invest in private banks, and who, if banks collapses, might be normal everywhere. So she gets 6 billion back. That's it. And if there are any arrangements, it's the bank and that has to do it. But she's claiming that the Costa Rican people is retaining her money, and It's not that way. It's one of those lousy Americans to think that they are just, they demand they are Americans and that everybody has to serve them. Like Trump thinks they're kind of arrogant. And I wrote back to her and said, why didn't you invest with the National Bank? She even showed the Decifine, one of those banks that broke down, and now Costa Rica, this, Costa Rica that, but it's not true. Man, we should be also aware of prevalent Americans like sometimes, I'm sorry to say, Donald Trump pretends to be. But what does it mean? It means that the country is potentially one of the best places in Latin America in the world to invest, because the labor work is one of the best ones. People are educated, they are friendly, they enjoy the government, they enjoy living in one of those polls. They have been classed as the number one happiest people on earth. We invite you guys to come to Costa Rica and enjoy our people. They're sweet and nice. No, not laid back. They're sweet and nice because they're happy. They're a happy environment. And it's not just in Northern Europe that takes place. And besides, our girls are very pretty. And so that's part of it. They're family. They're family oriented, and so they're quite reliable people. And in fact, I really enjoy my country, and people do really help. Of course, there are many Christian groups in the U.S. that can help you out. Well, in some of the Bible Belt areas, they're nice people in the U.S. too. But down here, you meet them on the bus, you meet them on the store, by your house. And if you have to learn Spanish, of course. But talking to managers and firms, Costa Rica is the right place to come to know that the people are well trained. With Chile, we are the most competitive countries in Latin America. And we see other people from other countries coming down. You know, they're messy, they're lousy. They are totally different to us. And so enjoy Costa Rica. It's the right place to be.